Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. Update on yesterday, jacking with my daughter's boyfriend's brother. Like we were messing around talking about him. He did hear it, which is funny. So I was really excited about that. And because you want a joke to land. And I know it was more of an inside joke, so I needed to make sure that it landed for us. So good job. Everybody played their roles perfectly, so thank you.
Sure.
Let me see. We're going to have to do a little bit of a faster cast because we have Leo Hailstrom coming in today. He is the writer of The Christmas Shoes, which is probably one of the best Christmas songs of all time.
Sir, I want to buy
And that's enough.
And Betty does not like this. I've already warned Betty. Leo's a friend, so you can disagree, but please be nice. Like you can stand your ground, but just don't be you, you know.
Just don't be you.
Do you have lines prepared? Like, do you have like, I don't love
I would
this song?
say my go-to is going to say, I'm going to say, it wouldn't be my first choice.
Okay.
It's safe
The
to
shoe
say
doesn't fit.
That's
Nice.
right.
Good, Gavin.
It's not my shoe to wear.
Yes, but, and I'm going to tell them, the problem with it is thematically and theologically that people have a problem with this song. And so we'll talk about all that, and then we're going to play have him do Gavin's parody song that he wrote for him. So we're really excited about that. And that's going to air on Friday, but we need to record that today, and he's coming in. So a little bit of a faster cast today. Speaking of music, there is a song that has been written by an AI singer-songwriter, and every part of this song is artificial intelligence, from the person who is not really a person to the musicians who are not really musicians.
To the writing of the song,
to
all the instruments.
All of it. It's all AI, and it's done by a songwriter named Anna India. You get it? AI, Anna India.
No,
Indiana.
Indiana.
Anna Indiana, yeah.
So
AI.
This is Anna Indiana, but she is not a real
No,
human
not a real
being.
person at all.
This is just a figment of the artificial intelligence.
This is where we're
Imagination.
getting. And so let's hear how this, because I contend that in the artificial intelligence world, it can do a lot of really great things, but creativity, it's not great at. It is now, like audio-wise. It's good with photos. Like you can tell it to design things.
Well,
and
besides
holy
your
cow.
hands.
Yeah, it will throw a random weird hand in there on
Extra
you.
thumbs.
Yeah, but it does like some good stuff with that. But audio-wise, it hasn't been great. So let's hear how Anna Indiana's all AI song came out.
Faces painted with smiles,
What?
lies are told,
Eyes are told.
a facade of unity,
Oh gosh.
our vitality sold. So I sit here in silence,
The timing is so bad.
just wondering how to rewrite the tales.
Oh.
This town won't allow.
It's weird because
betrayed by
the
this
voice
town.
itself like doesn't sound horrible, like her tone and stuff. Like you hear a lot of pop girls that sound like this, and
whispering.
Korean girl pop bands. But it's so mechanical, like everything's on this beat. But even that, it's weird. It should be perfect on beat, but it feels off.
It's because there's no emotion in it.
Exactly.
With music, there's a lot of emotion, and it has nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like inside of music production, you do a thing called quantizing when you're doing digital music. You take all of the things and you quantize it, and it means it takes everything that was a little off beat, puts it right back on beat. Kind of like when singers use autotune to put themselves back on pitch.
I didn't know
Same exact thing. It's called quantizing. But then inside of the quantizing, when it makes it so perfect, it was like, oh, it's too perfect. So then they have a thing called humanize, that you run humanize on it. So then it throws it off a little bit, but it throws it off better than when somebody was making a mistake, kind of thing. It's
We're better at making our mistakes better mistakes.
Yes, but it gives it that human feel of having a little bit of a lag going into something and not hitting it perfect on the downbeat and having just a little bit of feel, or they call it sway. And so,
But I think it's safe to say that still AI has a bit more to do.
yes.
But that
Till
was
it can
bad.
get believable.
Yeah, and it doesn't have experiences, so it's drawing from all this stuff on the internet, and it doesn't. Like there's one radio station that has a girl when she's out, they use an AI version of her, and it's like, well, okay, it's
you were
not
only
horrible,
doing-
but she doesn't say anything.
Well, yeah, and if it's like 10 or 15 seconds,
Liners.
like here's the next
Yeah.
song, or like if you want to do this, text this. I could see where
Absolutely.
that has the ability to to replace.
When you're trying to do a creative show where you're sharing life stories and being funny, AI cannot replace that yet. I mean, maybe it will one day, but there's still, an art and a craft to this job, kind of thing for us. But and apparently for music as well. So that was not really good, and so no musician should worry. Although they are really worried about it, that the record companies are dealing with royalties on stuff. I think that AI can be good for thought starters on because when we were doing the Hallmark Christmas movie game yesterday, I wrote like a prompt and it wrote a whole synopsis of a fake Christmas movie. Like if you were trying to write something, writing like an idea and having it write something more for you to then let you flesh out actually is it's a good thought starter. Like I could see it being useful for that versus having it write everything for you. Write a script, like I could see having it help me with the concept of something and giving you a place to go, like it being good, but you still have to have the human side of this stuff, man, for sure. So, Betty, you know how I'm very skeptical about Christian movies, at least the ones I'm not in.
Of course.
Yeah. So I got invited to see the movie Journey to Bethlehem, which is a musical about the birth of Christ. So right there, flags go up. I know, right? That's what I thought. But then I started thinking, they turned the story of Alexander Hamilton into a hit musical. So why not the story of Jesus? It should be better, right? Yeah. So I go to an advanced screening of the movie Journey to Bethlehem. And I have to tell you, at first I was like, when they started off singing right out of the gate, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. And I really, as I leaned into it and went with it, I'm like, man, this is actually really good. I really enjoyed it. If you loved High School Musical, Camp Rock, Glee, you and your family will love it because the guy who did a lot of the music for those shows, Adam Anders, directed and did all the music for Journey to Bethlehem.
Oh,
he actually,
we're all in this together.
We'll be singing the songs from Journey to Bethlehem like that too. The movie stars Antonio Banderas as Herod, and I got to tell you, Joel Smallbone plays his son, and he holds his own with him scene for scene. He was amazing.
I wonder why they didn't ask you to be in it.
I don't know. Maybe because we're all in this together. That's why. Now I see it.
That's good.
So if you want to check out the movie or learn more about it, it's JourneyToBethlehemMovie.com. Lady Rock, what do you got?
Bad news for Disney. Oh, it's so sad. Disney hasn't released a movie this year that's cracked $1 billion at the box office. Yep, and we're coming to the end of the year, and they have yet to do it. It's the first time this has happened since 2014. That's not counting the pandemic years of 2020 and 2021.
Because that's understandable. No one was going to the movies.
Yes. Major releases like The Marvels, Indiana Jones, and The Dial of Destiny, and the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, they all failed.
That one tanked.
It all failed to meet expectations. Even Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 only made $845.6 million.
Still good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Their newest animated movie, Wish, has only made $48.9 million worldwide so far. And we were talking about this earlier. Like, what's the storyline? I don't know. She talks to a star and she has a goat.
Yeah,
That's
idea.
All I know.
The goat is so they can sell a plush toy, and like. It looks like Encanto to me almost. Like even the style of it looks very similar to Encanto.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are you doing over there?
It feels like they're marketing too. They just don't market things as strongly as they used to.
Now they just slap Disney on it and think you're going to go see it.
I read an article that was something about they've taken on so many projects that nothing is turning out good. Like they took up Star Wars, and there's been so many of those, and then I think, that Star Wars people are like, eh.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Star Wars and to Marvel, they went and said, okay, we have these things. We're going to make 1 million different shows and movies.
Sure.
And then a lot of people, like bigger people, have stepped in and said, okay, we are going to like cut back, focus on quality over quantity.
Well, that's the thing. Before, like when you would Toy Story, I mean, that was 4 years in the making.
So
from
good.
the time they conceptualized it to the time they got it out, it was crazy. And now they just rush stuff out.
Yeah, it seems like more things don't pass through some secondary or third triple check to see if it's good or not.
Well, and the other part of this too is they got super, super liberal with their content, where they started forcing an LGBTQ agenda into children content, and they were like, yes, we're going to do this. And there has been people that are like, I'm not going to go see that. And so I'm not going to spend the money on that. And that's the way that you affect a company that's not a Christian company, especially, is you affect them in the pocket. And I think that you might be seeing some of that because you can't just trust Disney anymore because they're going to put a stupid agenda in there, and it's usually going to be LGBTQ. Sometimes it's subtle, like in the, what was that, Elemental? No, Buzz Lightyear wasn't even subtle.
Wasn't subtle.
Elemental was way more subtle, but they had it. They had a couple, because the characters are kind of weird and fluid, but they had like a lesbian couple in there. His aunt or whatever.
I must have missed that because I was going to say I tried to watch Elemental, and I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
It was just boring.
It's like they show it when he comes over for the dinner at the firehouse, the water guy, Wade or whatever it is. And you're like, because I went to see it thinking, oh, maybe they won't do that this time. Sure enough, they did.
Let me tell you, though, they do need to watch their backs because have y'all watched the new movie that just got released on Netflix? I think it's called Leo.
I do want to watch that.
No.
I haven't seen that yet.
Adam Sandler and his people. They put it all together, wrote it, produced. Like they did Hotel Transylvania.
Those are good,
I love Hotel Transylvania. I love 1, 2, and 3.
And see, that's one that they should do the LGBTQ with because it's Hotel Transylvania. I mean, it's perfect.
Anyways, there's a new movie on Netflix. It's called Leo. There's definitely some jokes in there that they're trying to make adult-ish, but a kid wouldn't get it kind of thing.
Right.
But anyways, I think you would really like it, Wally, because it's about this school class pet. And he's a lizard, and he can talk, and he talks to the kids that take him home every weekend. And there's
really?
And it's so funny because there's one little girl that she's got like a divorced family, and so she wants everyone's approval, and he sings this song to her about how you're not that special, blah blah blah. But it really does work for her. Like it helps her. There's another little girl that she thinks she's popular, and he's like, "You're not that great." And it's just they're learning life lessons through this class pet. Anyways, I think you would enjoy it. I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. And that's not Disney. That's Adam Sandler.
That's interesting. I had this thought the other day, too, about Disney, because Disney is in a stranglehold when it comes to LGBTQ agenda. They are in a stranglehold because of people that work there. It definitely is a place that is friendly towards that, and a lot of their people are in that lifestyle.
Looking for chokehold.
Chokehold, yeah, what did I say?
Stranglehold.
Oh, same thing. So, yeah, that works, too.
Don't want either to happen to me.
Yeah. But the thing about it, I had this thought, because if they come out and they're really vocal and say, we're not going to do this content anymore, we realize you don't want this, they're going to have a whole bunch of employees that are like, no, you're betraying us, and blah, 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 blah. And they don't want to make their employees mad. But then you can't be run by your employees either as a company. And so I know that they will continue to acquiesce to those people. But my thought on this was the other day, I'm like, if they would ever just have the strength to say, I'm sorry, this is what we're doing. And if you don't agree with this choice, this is a choice our company is making to make more money. If you disagree with this choice, we understand that. We hate to lose you, but please feel free to go start your own animation company. There is no shortage of heterosexual artists that will write good content. You don't have to be gay. You don't have to be LGBTQ to be a good artist or be, a creative. And so they could literally go, okay, you guys go, and they're not going to be hurting. They could fill all of those jobs.
Well, and I think too that you think about like all the ones that have been done in the past. Disney could go so far. They are one of the meccas. Like they're huge, but they could get even bigger if they went back to just like the heart, the feelings,
story.
Because we don't go to Disney to get reminded of the world that we're currently living in. We go there to learn about what is important in life, which is all about like your family, friendship, and love.
And they'll say, well, so is acceptance and and all that.
Yeah.
So that's where the agenda comes in. But what happens with this is it's just like Christian movies. They start with the agenda. and then they create the art. You start with the art at first. The art needs to be good and needs to stand on its own. When you start working agenda in, it becomes really obvious and the art suffers and it's not as good. And that's what's happened to them. And their stock is getting crushed. But I can't retire because of this nonsense.
And I think, too, like, while you want to, I think Disney wants to show, like, we're accepting of all lifestyles. Sure. Okay. But when I go to a theater, immediately, if I see something that's being pushed at me, even if I'm for it, I'm like, I can't.
Your wall goes up.
I can't lose myself in the movie.
Right.
So then I don't get invested in it. Because then I don't buy the toys. I don't buy, you know, all the things. And that's what Disney lives off of. I mean, they're closing Disney stores and malls because kids aren't wanting it.
They really do. They honestly, there was rumors that they were going to divest a bunch of their other assets that they have. Disney streaming is killing them, and so they were going to get back to. There was hopes that they were going to get back to what they do well: theme parks, cruises, and movies, and get rid of everything else that isn't pulling its weight. And if they did that, they might actually bring their stock price back up. But who knows? It's a mess, and I think. Sadly, we've seen the glory days of Disney, or the days where you could park your kid in front of a Disney thing, a Disney product, and feel safe about it. Those days are gone. And it's going to take a lot for them to earn the trust back of people. And I don't think they ever will. I mean, they won't with me. Like, if I have grandkids, I'm going to watch it before I put a grandkid in front of it because I don't trust them anymore. I used to trust them. I used to work there, And so, anyway, do you have a question and a birthday?
I don't think we have time for
it. All right. Do you have a birthday?
I don't.
Because that we at least want to make time for if there's people.
That.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Okay.
There's one that came in a little late.
Okay,
so
well, who is
let's do that one. Audrey
to
her dog Max.
Oh,
Max,
rough.
happy birthday!
Nice.
She said he is the best dog ever. I bet he is. He is my sweet baby boy who is turning 9. Oh, sweet baby boy Max. Turning 9
he still
years
has a
old.
few more good
He's
years in him.
Baby.
Yeah.
He's the little puppy.
All right, well, we are going to have to bail on this one. We apologize, but it's for good content coming up on Friday for y'all. And that's going to do it for your Aftercast, and thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.